Hi, I'm Chris McKenzie here at JTech. I'm in the diesel technology program. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about a couple of sensors on this 2009 Freightliner. It's got a Detroit Diesel Series 60 in it. The sensors I'm going to be talking about today is the coolant level sensor and the intake temperature sensor. So let's climb on up here. Alright, your coolant level sensor is normally always going to be located on the reservoir for the coolant level. This one is currently out of commission, but it sticks right in the backside, and what it does is it detects the amount of fluid in there, and when the fluid gets too low, it sends a signal to your dash illuminating a light. And the purpose behind having this is if your coolant gets too low, you could overheat, and if your coolant's getting low, you could have other internal issues or external issues. You could have a blown head gasket and you're getting coolant into your engine oil, or you could just simply be leaking it out of the side of your engine. And any way it goes, it's a pretty vital piece of equipment for this truck. The next sensor I want to talk about is the intake manifold temperature sensor. And that sensor is located right here. And the way you tell the difference between the intake temperature and the pressure is you slide the jacket back, and it's only 2 wires, 1, 2, black and white. The pressure is going to be a 3-wire. Alright, so the importance of the temperature sensor on your intake manifold, after studies and testing, it's been determined that the best air temperature for combustion on a diesel engine is about 400 degrees, and so you want to make sure you have the right air temperature coming in for maximum efficiency on your diesel engines. Alright, so we're here, we've got this Peterbilt with the Caterpillar 3406E, and the sensors I'm going to be talking about on this one is the crankshaft, the camshaft position sensor, and the turbo boost sensor. Alright, so for your camshaft position sensor, what it does is it measures where your camshaft's at in relation to your crank, because your push rod's right on your camshaft, so it wants to make sure the lobes are putting your push rods in the proper position to open and close your valves in proper sync with your pistons as they reach top dead center, giving you proper combustion, your intake, your exhaust strokes, so your engine runs right. Alright, the second sensor I'm going to be talking about is your boost pressure sensor, which is this sensor here on your intake manifold. And what it does is it measures the amount of boost coming into your manifold through your turbo. And what it does is when there's too much boost coming in, it tells your wastegate, whether it's mechanically operated wastegate or an electronically operated wastegate, it tells your wastegate when to open and close to maintain an adequate amount of pressure going into your intake manifold. Alright, so for my third truck that I'm going to be going over sensors with, the 2005 Freightliner Columbia with the Caterpillar C13 right here. And the first sensor I'm going to go over is the intake manifold pressure sensor. And to tell the difference between the pressure sensor and the temp sensor, you can slide the jacket up, and 3 wires indicate that it's a pressure sensor. And with the pressure sensor, you want to make sure you maintain adequate pressure coming into your air intake. This also works in conjunction with like your turbo, with your turbo boost, so it can help adequately regulate the turbo boost along with the air sucking in. And like I said, it's a 3-wire. And the next one I'm going to talk about is your intake temperature sensor. And to tell that, it's got the 2 wires, and it's going here into the bottom of your air intake manifold. And the importance of this is with diesels, you want to maintain about 400 degrees going into here, and which helps with proper combustion, because diesels use pressure in a heated cylinder for combustion instead of your typical gasoline engine, which uses a spark plug to ignite the fuel mixture. So if your cylinder is not hot enough and you don't have the proper pressure to it, you're not going to have that compression to create the combustion. My next sensor that I'm going to talk about is a fuel pressure sensor, and again, as you should be able to see down here, it's got 3 wires right here on the back of the fuel filter housing, and what it does is it monitors the pressure of the fuel system, and it uses a lower pressure than your injectors, and it uses that pressure to send fuel to your injectors, which creates a higher pressure to atomize the fuel going into the cylinder. And if you don't have the proper pressure going in this system itself, you're not going to have proper fuel going to your injectors for good combustion, making your engine run rough.